So we were talking yesterday about how we first met. And
Yes.
I don't remember us ever really doing a podcast on that, did we?
I don't know.
Maybe bits and pieces or?
Maybe little bits and pieces, but I think that's about it.
Oh, okay. So if you guys didn't know before, we met on Match.com.
I totally recommend it. There's a lot of crazies on there. But you could find your quote unquote, your Tim. That's what like the girls that I work with says, but I want a Tim. It's like so cute. Even Raquel, our oldest, said that the other day. She's like, I just want to find my Tim.
On Match.com.
Yes. Most people don't even know that. I met my ex-husband online. And so when we broke up, my mom said, you better not find anyone else online. Those relationships never work. And I'm like, we met through a friend.
You lied to your mama?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Does she know now?
I don't think she does. We've never brought it up.
She does now.
Right?
We just went public. Don't kill her,
we
mama.
did.
Don't kill her.
But yeah, we met online. But we talked for almost a month before we actually had our first date because we just had a lot going on. I had a big event I was doing and I was in Vegas for, a week.
Yeah.
We just had a lot going on.
Yeah, I remember talking to you in Vegas.
I do too. And you know what's really fun? Okay, do you remember the first time that you and I went to the Vegas with the kids and the hotel we stayed in?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember what it was called. But I actually took you to where I was sitting.
Oh,
do you
that's
remember that?
right.
That was so cool.
That was cool.
We talked for like an hour.
What casino was that?
It was the one that's like kind of off the strip.
Huh. I think I have it in my mind, but
if I hear the name, it'd be like, yep, that's it. But yeah, it was really fun to be able to be like, yeah, I remember that really long conversation. That's where I was sitting.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, it was like really cool. But yeah, it just was so cool. And I remember when, at the time, because, I was used to having a lot of money coming in from my ex-husband, from his work. And so in my mind,
You almost swiped me to the left, huh?
I did. I did. I'll tell you that in 1 second. But I was under the impression in order to be happy, I wanted to have financial security, something I've never had before in my life. And so I needed a man who made a lot of money. So all the men I was looking at was like $100,000 a year or more. And we won't say what your income was, but you sent me a message and it was the last day of my subscription. And I'm like,
funny.
I'm not even going to renew my subscription. Like, this is just stupid. Like, I don't care if I have a man or not. And wasn't yours expiring soon?
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah. And I didn't know exactly what day it was, but you sent me a message and we talked and you asked what I was up to. And I'm like, oh, I'm just making this video. And you're like, oh, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I couldn't send it through the Matches chatting feature. And so I'm like, well, I got to text it to you. And I remember do you remember saying, I'm not some crazy person. I'm not going to stalk you on your phone. Do you remember saying that?
No.
I do. It was so cute. And so I sent you a text or something like that. Or no, I had posted it on Facebook maybe. And so I gave you my Facebook account. So you totally Facebook stalked me.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, to give you like some insight, so there was a couple girls, on Match.com. But yeah, I've fully researched them before I ever met them.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think on one or two of them, your research wasn't very good. Because they were crazy.
Cuckoo.
Yes. But your research with me was good.
Yeah. I thought you were going to be a lot bigger.
Yeah, because you saw all my older pictures.
Yeah, I saw a
Facebook.
lot of old pictures, and I thought you were going to be a lot bigger. I was surprised at how lean, you were.
Yeah. It was kind of cool because you thought that the picture on Match was an old one and I had gained weight since then. But it was the opposite way. I had lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because I had lost at that point almost 60 pounds. I mean, that's a lot. That's a big difference. Mm-hmm. So you were shocked.
I was shocked.
And you
but
thought
you scared me about how tall you were too, remember?
I was just going to say that.
I was like, is she going to be a midget? I don't know.
Yeah, because you were like, we were talking about how tall we were or something. And I was like, I'm 5'3"
Yeah.
And you're like, what's that mean, 5 foot?
You know how people exaggerate about, things?
Yeah.
I thought your height was an exaggeration. I was probably like 4'9".
Wow. I do have family members that are that short. And they're full grown adults.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you were like completely surprising when you saw me.
I was,
Yeah. And I know we've talked about before how our first date almost didn't happen. And I'm so glad it did. But at the time, I'm like, you don't want to come? Fine, whatever. Yeah. I don't need you. And you were like, okay, I'll come up here. But then you pulled over and you were like kind of panicking because you had planned this picnic.
Yeah,
and
you totally ruined my plans.
I did.
Yeah.
And I felt bad.
You should.
I did.
We made it up on the second date.
We did. We did a picnic at the lake that on the second date.
Where you hurt your butt sitting on that rock.
Yes. I had a freaking bruise on my butt for like, what was it, like 2 weeks afterwards? Yeah. But it was like the best date. That's the date I realized I loved you.
Really?
Yeah.
You told me that. I remember that. Do you remember the time where I got you sick?
Yeah, that wasn't very far into us dating either because my whole family was still here.
Oh, I felt so bad. So I was, addicted to nicotine and was cutting back and replacing cigarettes with Nicorette gum and stuff, and was doing really well.
Yeah, you were.
About five cigarettes a day, which was a major plus for me.
Yeah.
But we did a lot of kissing, and I had that gum in my mouth.
We did a lot of kissing.
You got so sick.
Yeah. So we did a lot of kissing, came home. My parents were here. My daughter was here. My sister was here. I think even her kids were still here at that point. And we were all sitting at the table to play a card game because we love playing cards in my family. And so we're sitting there and I just start kind of getting quiet. And everyone's just kind of looking at me because, we get really rowdy when we play with my family. And yeah, I just started getting really quiet and they're like, what the heck? I'm like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And of course, they're waiting for me to take my turn. And 10 minutes later, I'm texting them. I'm like, I really don't feel good. Just skip my turn. Just keep playing until I come back up there. I was in the bathroom for probably 20 minutes, resisting the urge to puke.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
Yeah. And the whole time I'm in there, I'm like texting you and I'm like, I don't feel good. And I had no idea at that point what it was. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And I think it was you who figured out what was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you got a nicotine high, baby.
Yeah. Nicotine sick. But you never chewed nicotine gum again.
Yep.
Well, you did, but not when you were going to kiss me.
Nope.
So that was funny. I mean, not at the time, but now looking back, like that's a funny story we have.
That is.
Yeah. What else do you remember about our early days in dating?
I remember making out with you in the car.
Oh, yeah. I remember that day, too. Very well.
Like a couple of teenagers.
I know. It was so funny.
Yeah. Super
we
cute.
were like, I don't know, like our relationship moved so fast. But at the time, it felt like it dragged on.
It did?
Yeah. You moved in after what, 3 months of dating?
Yeah.
That is insane. If my kids were to do that, I'd be like, no, you need to get to know each other better. But for us, it was like, it really felt like we'd been together like a year.
Yeah.
And so it didn't feel fast, but everyone's like, dude, you're like moving so fast. Do you really want to moving in with you? And I'm like, yeah, it feels like we've been together forever. And
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great choice.
Yeah, obviously. I mean,
Yeah. 2 years later.
great future.
Getting married and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's epicness.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally off that subject. I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Need a man's perspective.
Uh-oh.
Aren't you glad you're the man I go to get men's perspectives?
Yes.
Okay. So why in the effing hell do men say, who's your daddy? Or want to be called Big Daddy or whatever. Why do they do that? That's so weird. Like, you said that to me one time in 2 years.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what my thought was?
What?
My daddy is John and he's in Arizona.
Who's your daddy?
John.
I have no clue. Oh my gosh. It's a culture thing. We picked it up somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, because that's so weird. Why would you have your, the person who you're sexually interested in want to call you daddy? Call me daddy.
Right? Some women like that. Some men like it. But in my mind, I'm like, you say daddy, and I think of my father who gave me life.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, that's so weird. But
super weird.
There's times that you call me sexy mama, but that's not weird. Explain that to me. Like,
what? Sexy mama?
Yeah, you say that all the time, but to me, it's not weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a double standard. I don't like it. Call me daddy.
That is something you will never hear me call you.
Right. I think, okay, a little more deeper into it.
Ooh, deeper again? We talked about deeper last week.
Deeper into it, so there's a masculinity thing in there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Explain it to me.
Like, call me, I don't know, some name that gives me some sort of dominance and control. You know what I mean?
That would be husband.
I like to dominate and control you sometimes.
You do? And sometimes I do you.
Sometimes we trade places and I'll become submissive, but
yeah,
if you like did a scale on the a percentage, I would probably be more, I like to be in control more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So something tied to that, who's your daddy? To some sort of, domination and stuff. I don't know. And I'm not talking about domination in a bad sense.
Yeah, like sexual domination. Yeah, just get that out there. We are not into that stuff. No. Yeah. I don't know. That's just, I don't know. For me, it's just kind of weird that I've never understood it. So I still kind of don't, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the whole, I want to dominate and, I'm the man, and I get all that. But the whole daddy part just throws me. Because every time you say daddy, I think of my father.
Yeah, totally not cool.
No, that's like the last person you want to think of when you're trying to make love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
It is. It is. So last week we had the question in our group was, would you ever take someone back who cheated and why?
Yes.
And we answered a lot of the responses on here and talked about them, but one came in after we did last week's podcast. And I really wanted to touch base on it because there's several points that are really good to talk about. We're kind of all over the place today. We're like talking about everything. All right. So let me grab that. So it's kind of a long comment. So, bear with me. She says, No, I have a hard time with this. I'm going to get really personal here for a minute because I like this group and feel safe in doing so. I was adopted. I have severe abandonment and trust issues. I grew up in a loving home and my parents tried to reassure me the best they could, but nothing helped. Then I went on to have 3 serious relationships where I thought I was in love. All 3 cheated on me. I forgave one once, and he didn't even wait a week before doing it again. The worst was finding out the man I had a child with had cheated on me the entire time I was pregnant. He knocked her up a week later. For me, it's just a little too late, and still, I'm greatly hurt by those actions still. I reflect that on my current relationship more than I would like. Something he is helping me work on, showing me every day I can trust him and I'm safe.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? Because I know there's going to be a lot of points in this one comment that we can hit.
Gosh, to get like serious and real, this famous quote that I always remember is, you teach people how to treat you. And going into multiple relationships and having the same thing, we carry around this persona with us, and a mentality that teaches people how to treat us.
Yeah.
And then we end up getting the same thing, even though it's a different person.
Yeah.
Right? Unless we deal with our shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to tell you that I was cheated on because I was a little bitch. Like straight up, like too soft, like not laying firm boundaries, you know, just a little bitch. And I don't mean to offend anybody by that, but when you take extreme ownership for things, you go, this is my role in this is my part, and that's that. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to dismiss what the lady said, but when you go into another relationship and the same thing happens, and then the same thing happens, we have to look at ourselves.
Yeah.
Why am I attracting these same kind of men? Why do all these men think they can treat me this way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And deal with that.
Yeah. You know, it's like abusers. They're not, someone who is going to abuse someone does not go out and find this strong, you know, we'll just be stereotypical right now, a man abusing a woman. That man is not going to go out and find some strong woman who's very secure in herself.
Very good. Very good.
He's not going to, because she will stand up for herself. She will kick the crap out of him. You know, if he tries laying a hand on her, you know, she'll leave. She'll turn him into the police. Like, that's a dangerous situation for that abuser. So he looks for and preys upon people who are quote unquote weaker, who are not strong. They're not confident.
Yeah.
That's who an abuser goes to.
Absolutely. And I would say that a cheater does the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
That they can almost sense the weakness in that I'm gonna get away with this or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bet there's a scent that we give off.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, because like with our relationship, if you were to cheat, I'd be like, F you, get out of my house. If I were to cheat, you'd be like, bitch, you're gone. Like, because we're both so secure in who we are, and we've dealt with all of our crap, and we both have had a lot to deal with. But we're strong enough in who we are now, we wouldn't stand for that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something about self-worth that's attached to this.
Yes.
That not only do we teach people how to treat us, but we attract those that are about the same worth and value. You know what I mean? It's kind of the like attracts like sort of thing.
Yeah.
So for me, my self-worth is really, really high. You know what I mean? I know that my thoughts and my ideas are very valuable, and my contribution to society, you know, all these different things is really, really high. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Those boundaries, like, no, this is not going to happen to me. clear lines in the sand. Self-worth.
Yeah. Well, and I think, you hit the nail on the head with that one is the self-worth. And she did point out she has abandonment issues. So obviously there's more going on, than what she listed. But really look at your self-worth.
Yeah.
Do you have self-worth? Do you realize that you're worth good things in life?
Yeah.
Do you realize that you're worth more than having someone who is going to go and cheat on you?
Yeah. I think she's at that now, right?
Yeah.
Because she's talking about, this vulnerability of having those mistakes, 3 times in this new relationship. I'd be willing to bet you that her self-worth is way higher than it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like way higher now. And that's what I got the sense from her post.
Yes, absolutely.
She's like, she says that she has those feelings reflecting on her current relationship, but that the man she's with now is helping her work on that, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to do.
Absolutely.
So the fact that he's willing to help you work on that, like, that's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that he shows her every day that she can trust him and that she's safe.
Yes.
That is key. Like, knowing that you are safe, you can be vulnerable, you can be who you are, and know that you can trust him. Like, that makes all the difference in the flipping world.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It is.
Because, there's something about track record that we gain some sort of certainty about things. Mm-hmm. Like the track record of these 3 men cheating, and I get in a relationship and men cheat.
Yeah.
To be able to not expect that this man is going to do it too is really, really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's all
the past and the track record state with almost certainty that this man will do it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is hard and real stuff to face.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it'll take time for her to heal from it, but she can. Yes. She can totally heal from it. And she has a great guy that's going to help her.
The only way to heal from it is for him to develop a different track record.
Yes.
And by him showing safety and trust and all that stuff, that's the only way that's going to reprogram the brain. Yes. To say, I'm okay now. I'm safe now. This is not going to happen to me again.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but she needs to work on her self-worth.
Yes.
It's key. You got to develop yourself. And I know in the past, anytime I would try and work on myself, I'd feel guilty because I wasn't spending that time on my kids. I wasn't focusing on my kids. But now it's like I took that time and I've worked on myself, and the kids are healthier for it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm mimicking what a healthy individual should look like.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it even goes deeper than just working on yourself, because she said she has a child. Mm-hmm. How do you want that child to grow up? Do you want that child to grow up, secure and safe and knowing that they're worth?
Yeah.
Like, they're worth good things in life. They have self-worth. Like, show them that.
Yeah. Back to the idea of teaching people how to treat you. Mm-hmm. There's something about worth and value that if we have it, then other people see it too.
Yeah.
For example, if I'm a worthless piece of shit and how I view myself, it's very likely that people are going to have the same perception of us because that's the way we perceive ourselves.
Yeah. Very
likely. If there's a lot of value and a lot of worth, it can't help but rub off on the next person, right? Because like for you, for example, your esteem and worth is very high. And it protrudes off you, mm-hmm. projects, you know what I mean? Confident, independent, woman. That I can't help but view you the same way you view yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And it's just carrying that vibe.
Yeah. Wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, you teach people how to treat you.
That's very true. It is. And I think when you have that for yourself, you can give that to others.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I didn't value myself, I would never treat you the way I do.
Yeah, and it goes to your children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the low self-worth is taught behavior, and it's seen in the environment. So the best thing for our children is to have high worth for ourselves.
I never even thought of it that way.
Yeah. That's some
Good
deep
point.
stuff.
That is.
I think if we grabbed a hold of this concept, it would change the world, because
Oh, yeah.
the only way to change the world is by parenting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And developing this, deep stuff. Deep stuff.
It is. It's good. We could go for hours on it. We really could. But yeah, I think that's key for her. And I'm glad that she posted that, because I want people in our group to realize that this is a safe place. Like all all posts made, we approve first. We're not going to let anything get through. If we see, and we monitor all the comments, like if we see a comment that is attacking someone, or
I don't even tolerate it at all. I just kick them out. It's happened a couple times, and I'm like, You're gone without warning. Peace.
Yeah, you're just gone.
Yeah.
Because if you do it once, chances are you're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So you get no chances.
No chances. No.
You attack someone once, you say something one time about someone or whatever, you're gone. You're out of the group.
Yeah.
Like, we're very, very active in here. And we want a safe place where people like Lauren can post stuff like this and realize that she's not going to be attacked.
Yes.
That people will step up and give her advice and will be there for her. That's the environment we're creating in this group. So, you know, if this is a group that you'd want to be a part of, like, seriously, find us on Facebook.
Yes. It is Love Life
With Tim and Jamie.
And it is a Facebook group. And we're also on Instagram.
Yes.
Love Life.
With Tim and Jamie. Not just being honest, I'm not as active on Instagram. Yeah, we're just not. We're trying to get there. I did really good like 2 weeks ago, and I made one video. But we will eventually. You're way better at Instagram than I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, find us on those places. Like, if you have questions, ask us. You know, we're trying to grow these groups. We're, you know, trying to do all this stuff, but we can't do it without other people.
Yes. So check us out. And
yes.
Have a good week. Bye.